Right now, there's a saltwater boat on Facebook Marketplace with a rotting transom, a deck that flexes like a trampoline, and a repair bill that exceeds what the boat is worth. The seller knows, you don't. Today you're getting the 3 boats to never buy, and the 4 that last decades. Worst number 3. Wellcraft Coastal Series, 1995 to 2004. Wellcraft marketed the Coastal as offshore ready. The construction underneath told a different story, one that saltwater owners discover slowly and expensively. Balsa wood coring runs throughout the hull and deck. Balsa works well as a core material until it contacts water. In saltwater service, it always contacts water eventually, through hairline gel coat cracks, stress fractures, or improperly bedded hardware. Once moisture reaches the balsa, absorption is fast and widespread. Step on a 15-year-old Wellcraft deck and you feel it immediately. Soft spots everywhere. Trampoline flex around every hardware mounting point. That's not surface wear, that's structural failure throughout the entire platform. Repairing delaminated decks means full removal, core replacement, and reglassing at $20,000 or more on boats worth $15,000. Transom cores carry the same vulnerability. The hull-to-deck joint leaks on most examples, accelerating interior water intrusion. Marine surveyors consistently warn clients away from these boats. The reputation is well-earned and well-documented. And that's just number 3. Wait until you see what takes the top spot. Worst number 2. Chaparral Signature Series Cruisers, 2000 to 2010. Chaparral sold the Signature Series as a coastal cruiser capable of handling saltwater. A few seasons of actual salt exposure revealed the truth. These were freshwater lake boats wearing offshore marketing, and the difference shows up fast once the water turns salty. Aluminum components corrode aggressively throughout the boat. Gauge panels bubble within years. Radar arches deteriorate and need expensive replacement. The structural core uses pressure-treated plywood in the transom and stringers, sealed poorly enough that moisture penetrates through limber holes and spreads rot through the entire backbone before owners notice anything wrong. Steel fuel tanks corrode from the inside, and replacement requires a complete interior gutting. Through-hull fittings leak on numerous models, letting salt water in continuously. Electrical systems weren't built to marine-grade standards and corrode faster than any quality competitor. When owners pushed warranty claims, Chaparral's response was consistently reported as inadequate. Marine surveyors who examine these boats after saltwater service say the same thing every time. The deterioration rate compared to properly engineered offshore boats is not even close. Worst number 1. Post-1997 Mako boats. The Mako name meant something once. Pre-1997 models were genuinely tough offshore machines built to last. Then Bass Pro Shops acquired the brand, moved production, and gutted everything that made a Mako worth owning. The name stayed on the hull. The quality didn't. The most dangerous problem on post-1997 Makos is the center console itself. Instead of being properly fiberglassed and mechanically fastened to the deck, these consoles were bonded with adhesive. Under load at speed, they break free. Documented cases exist of consoles tearing completely loose mid-turn and throwing people overboard, on boats with 6-figure price tags. Hull construction suffered equally. Poor fiberglass layup with voids, bulkheads hacked to fit rather than molded correctly, and unsealed wiring crimps that corrode fast in any salt environment. The 28-foot models carry chronic transom problems on top of everything else. When you see a post-1997 Mako listed as a deal, understand that you're buying a badge, not a boat. Subscribe and join the boat owners who refuse to get taken advantage of. Best number 4, CV340Z 2014 to present, built in Miami for Miami. Conditions: the CV340Z is a factory-direct offshore platform engineered for longevity in the harshest saltwater environments on the East Coast. The stepped hull design delivers smooth riding and genuine fuel efficiency at offshore speeds. 23.5 degrees of deed rise at the transom for wave-slicing performance without the punishing ride. No wood anywhere in the construction. Sealed foam cores throughout. Advanced composite techniques at every structural point. Hardware is premium stainless, properly bedded at every fitting. Electrical systems are marine-grade and built for corrosion resistance from the design stage. Factory direct sales mean complete customization for your specific fishing needs without dealer markup padding the price. Owners run these boats offshore regularly and report 15 to 20 years of hard service with basic maintenance. The CV340Z proves the same principle every good saltwater boat proves. Build it right the first time and it doesn't need to come back for expensive repairs. Stick around, Number 1 sets a standard none of these can touch. Best number 3, Contender 32ST, 2010 to present. Built in South Florida for South Florida conditions, the Contender 32ST is what happens when a boat manufacturer builds specifically for punishment. Tournament anglers running hundreds of miles offshore in all conditions chose this platform, and those buyers are not forgiving of construction shortcuts. Hand-laid hull construction using premium resins and advanced composite techniques. The deck uses sealed composite foam core with zero water intrusion pathways. Stringers and transom are massively overbuilt, engineered to handle triple outboard installations under full tournament loads. Every hardware fitting is marine-grade stainless, properly backed and bedded. Electrical systems are designed specifically for salt environments. Fish boxes and live wells integrate seamlessly with proper drainage throughout. These boats absorb serious abuse and come back for more. Owners report crossing 1,500 hours without major mechanical issues, running hard in conditions that would expose any weakness in lesser construction. Best number 2, Everglades, 273 center console, 2015 to present. Everglades built their entire identity around one decision: no wood anywhere in the boat. Their patented ram cap construction creates a fully sealed composite hull with nothing organic to rot, absorb moisture, or compromise structurally over time. In saltwater service, that single commitment pays off every season. All hardware is top-shelf stainless with proper backing plates throughout. The lifetime hull warranty isn't a marketing line, it's a reflection of construction standards where honoring that warranty costs Everglades almost nothing. Owners report 15 to 20 years of reliable service with nothing beyond basic maintenance. These boats hold value because saltwater simply doesn't deteriorate them the way it destroys lesser construction. Best number 1, Regulator 26FS, 2010 to present. The Regulator 26FS is the benchmark serious saltwater anglers measure everything else against. Naval architect Lou Cadega's 24-degree deep V hull with Carolina flare handles rough offshore water better than anything in its class, dry-controlled and confidence-inspiring in conditions that punish lesser designs. Construction is hand-laminated solid fiberglass with no coring to delaminate or absorb water. The one-piece stringer system drops into the hull and gets glassed as a single bonded unit. No seams, no leak points, no weak spots. Hardware is marine-grade stainless steel properly backed and bedded at every point. These boats routinely deliver 20 to 30 years of hard offshore service without structural problems. Resale values stay strong because buyers understand the track record. The 26FS doesn't require explanation. Its reputation is built entirely on what it does in the water. And there you have it. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe, more boat. Exposees coming soon.